Who will win the coveted crown overall profit leader this year at WagerTalk? Multiple handicappers are in the running, and we took the current top three and packaged them together through the rest of the year for one low price, saving you thousands. Our current leaders are up a combined 287 units of profit so far in 2022. Andrew McKinnis is up 154 units, Dave Koken is up 76 units, and Tokyo Brandon is up 57 units. There are over 200 days left in 2022, and a 90-day all access is priced at $749 per handicapper. For a limited time, we will toss in the rest of the year for free. Yep, get our current top three profit leaders for 259 days for the price of $90, coming out to just $2.89 per handicapper.
Welcome into First Pitch for Friday, April 29th. I am Drew Martin, joined by Dave Koken and Jimmy Adams of WagerTalk.com. We're breaking down three games on tonight's slate, maybe a look ahead towards this weekend's series, and we got best bets at the end. Going around the horn here, Dave Koken. Dave, welcome in. Happy Friday to you, buddy.
Thanks, Drew. If you watched the ad at the start of the show, I'm still in the top three, only the numbers improved. Small loss last night, but talking at about 88.5 units ahead for 2022. So that's a good offer. Take advantage of it. And tonight I've got a three-game package for $29, three baseball plays, also a couple of NHL plays for my all-access clients. So looking to add some profits, and who knows, if we get lucky, maybe we can cross the 100-unit mark tonight.
Good, man. Good luck to you, Dave. Hopefully you knock it out and hit the best bet as well. We got Jimmy Adams as well. I know he's locked and loaded for a best bet for the show. Also locked and loaded for tonight, so check him out, WagerTalk.com. Jimmy, happy Friday to you.
Yeah, thanks. Happy Friday, Drew. Things are heating up in baseball finally. 8-3, last 11. And got another 5%er going tonight. 5%ers in baseball have been fantastic. Over 71%. Dating all the way back to August of last year. So we'll look to keep that rolling. Real quick, I like to give a quick shout out to others because we're a team here at WT. I saw that you hit 2 5%ers yesterday, Drew, so congrats on that.
Hey, I appreciate it, Jimmy, and best of luck to you tonight. Yeah, first time ever. I loaded it up, man. We had NFL draft like something, nailed that, and then on the baseball diamond as well. So hopefully a lot of people out there we're tailing along and got another one up tonight. WagerTalk.com, Drew Martin. Check out Jimmy Adams, Dave Koken as well. Guys, let's break down the games here. We got Houston Astros, Toronto Blue Jays, first game up. We're heading north of the border here, Dave. We got liquidity on the hill for the Stros versus Kikuchi coming from the left side, minus 115. That's the Jays as the home favorite. 8 in the hook being the total. Astros and Jays, Dave, what are you thinking?
I'm looking at my numbers as we speak. I guess I'd give the Astros a slight edge here. The problem is Kikuchi, who you may as well just be accurate about it. I haven't gotten this guy right since he arrived in the major leagues a few years ago. He's a really tough pitcher to handicap because he's not very consistent. And he's one of those guys I tend to just, Kikuchi's pitching, I'll look for another game. There's just nothing to firmly entrench yourself with as far as his numbers go, either for over and unders or for sides. He's capable of going out there, and when he's got his command, being very good, and when he doesn't have his command, being very hittable. I think Urquidy is the slightly superior pitcher. So I'll give it a nod to the Astros, but I'm not really recommending that as a play to anybody.
Okay, and Jimmy, coming to you next, north of the border. What are you thinking tonight, Astros and Jays?
So I completely agree with Dave's take on Kikuchi. So these teams just played a series with Toronto taking 2 of 3. And the only reason they didn't sweep that series was because Houston, won in extra innings. So Toronto hasn't lost a series all season, I don't believe. Kikuchi, not my favorite guy to back, as Dave touched on. 3.75 ERA, but he's got a 6.23 FIP, so that indicates some regression definitely coming. He throws a lot of curveballs, a lot of splits, inconsistent, like Dave said. He just faced the Astros, 4 runs, 2 earned, in 3.2 innings. Astros have made me a lot of money over the last couple of years, but I talked about how I don't really want my money on Kikuchi. I don't really want my money on Urquidy either. 5.52 ERA, 5.18 FIP, average changeup, average command. This isn't a guy that I necessarily want to back either. Two teams that can hit, two teams that I am looking to bet on moving forward, but I agree with Dave. It's a stay away for me on this one.
Interesting, these two teams just played last weekend with Toronto taking 2 of 3 in Houston from the Stros. Guys, we will revisit this game in Best Bets. We got 2 games left, 8:10 Eastern start here in Kansas City. We get the New York Yankees versus the Kansas City Royals. Next game up, Nestor Cortez versus Bubic. 2 lefties going at it, Jimmy. We're seeing the Yankees commanding a, minus 190, as high as minus 200 price tag here. 8.5 the total. You liking anything in Kansas City tonight?
So unless you're playing a total, the only way, in my opinion, to bet this game is the Yankees. They've been hot, won 6 straight, 8 of 9, fresh off sweeps of both the Orioles and the Guardians. Nestor Cortez has pitched really well this year, 1.15 ERA. He's given up a total of 2 runs in 3 starts this season, I believe. Didn't allow a run in either one of his first 2 starts. And then you have the Royals that have lost 5 of 7. They send Chris Bubic to the mound. An ERA of 14.14 and a 7.35 FIP to go along with it. Things have not been good for Chris Bubic and the Royals. So if you're going to play this game, I'm already on a run line tonight, so I don't want to play too many run line games. But if you're going to play this game, Yankees run line, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jimmy. Dave, coming to you next. Nestor Cortez has the number 1 strikeout rate in all of baseball. The Yankees are heating up. It's the Yankees are past for me. You like anything here in Kansas City, Dave?
I think he's also number 1 in xFIP. And Bubic has been the worst pitcher in baseball so far. He's been absolutely horrible. The Yankees' offense against lefties is very good. Their offense over the past week has been dynamite. Royals don't hit a lot and have not hit over the past week. The only thing I'll disagree with you guys on is screw the runs line, okay? The Yankees, just lay the price. And I would do it first 5 because the bullpens are actually really close here. Royals' bullpen has been good so far, so the Yankees' bullpen is very good. But I just go first 5 Yankees, which is what I did. It's part of my 3-game package tonight. Look, there are times when minus 190 or minus 200 is actually good value. And I think it is here. I think the price in this game should be 250 or 270. It's a mismatch on paper. The only thing that's close is the bullpens. Everything else heavily favors the Yankees. Yankees first 5. Forget the runs. Just play it straight.
It pays to watch, guys. Dave Koken, one of the 3-pack. Looks like the Yankees first 5. Nestor Cortez, number 1 in K rate, like Dave was pointing to his xFIP. And actually, since the All-Star break of last season, he's been lights out. 44% strikeout rate, striking out 25 of the 56 batters he's faced. Dave touched on it in terms of the Yankees. So, yeah, guys, Yankees are passed from the panel. We got 1 game left. Best bets at the end. Washington Nationals versus San Francisco Giants is our nightcap on the West Coast here, Dave. 10:15 Eastern, 7:15 Pacific start. We get Sanchez going for the Nats versus Alex Wood, the former Georgia Bulldog, coming from the left side. Another chalky price here, minus 235. We're seeing mostly minus 220 looking at the WagerTalk odds screen. That's the Giants favored at home. 7 in the hook being the total. What are you thinking, Nats and Giants late night?
Nothing. The Nationals suck beyond belief. They're a terrible baseball team. Giants should win the game. I would recommend finding the Giants with another team, maybe the Yankees, and making a 2-team parlay, maybe the Padres as well. Giants and somebody in a money line parlay. The Giants should win this game without too much trouble.
Yeah, Jimmy, just trying to kind of make an argument here. It's tough to make an argument for the Nats, Jimmy. They've lost 8 straight games. It's pretty ridiculous now in our nation's capital. I guess maybe the Giants' Jock Peterson was injured. Maybe he's out of the lineup. He's kind of their hottest hitter right now. Juan Soto, I don't know. I guess he's a good hitter in their lineup. The only problem is he has 3 RBIs and they're all in 3 solo home runs. He hasn't actually knocked in one of his opponents yet. It speaks towards their lineup. And actually looking at some of the advanced analytics, he's number 3 in MLB in terms of percentage of pitches he's seeing outside the strike zone. They're just not throwing strikes to him, not hittable pitches. It's not really surprising when you look at their lineup. A lot of guys are cold and then in it. I agree with Dave. It's Giants or pass. I mean, minus 200 is steep, but hey, I don't know. They're at home late night if you need something. What are you thinking here, Jimmy?
All right, so this is my run line play that I gave out to the clients, and we've been fading the Nationals for a while now. We cashed in every single game in that Marlins series that they lost, and this is something that I'll tend to do as a handicapper from time to time in baseball, is identify a team that's on a losing streak, try and catch it early, and then just fade them every single day until they win a game, and then you're off it, and you made a bunch of money. So Nats have lost 8 straight. They have no offense. You mentioned Juan Soto takes a lot of walks. He has one of the best eyes in all of baseball, so he's going to take a lot of walks. But this team can't hit. They can't score runs. Aaron Sanchez is on the mound, 8.31 ERA in limited action. He hasn't pitched very many innings, but he already faced the Giants once this year, 4 earned runs and 4.1 innings pitched, if my notes are correct. So Giants have won 5 of 6. They've really been swinging the bats well. They just continue to win games just like they did last year. They got one of their best pitchers on the mound in Alex Wood, 2-0, 2.51 ERA. You have to play the Giants run line here, in my opinion, and I'm going to continue to fade the Nats until they win a game.
And Jimmy, go ahead, Dave.
Soto's going to have to decide whether he wants to take walks or just swing the bat. He's clearly being pitched around. And that's going to be the story all year for him. One of the complaints Reds fans and others had about Joey Votto in Votto's prime was that he took too many walks. He was unwilling to swing at pitches. And for the other team, it was just, fine, let's just put him on first base because they got nobody near him who's going to do anything. And that's what's happening with the Nationals right now. They basically got 3 guys in their offense who can hit a little bit, and that's it. So don't give Soto anything. Put him on first base. He's not going to do any damage there, and they can't get anybody on. And the thing is, they're not getting anybody on base for him to hit with. He's not getting any RBI situations. Jimmy mentioned he's got 3 runs batted in, and they're all on solo homers, which means he's hitting with nobody on base all the time. This isn't going to change. I mean, pitchers will just avoid him. That's the problem with being a really good hitter in a really terrible lineup. The best thing the Nationals have going for them right now is the fact the Cincinnati Reds exist, because the Reds are getting trashed by everybody for good reason. So the Nationals may be a little awful under the radar, but the Nationals pretty much are just as bad as Cincinnati.
Dave, no argument here. I mean, I heard some arguments in terms of maybe he should expand like what he's swinging at in terms of he's not seeing very many strikes. I also heard people arguing that maybe he's going to break Barry Bonds' walk record for number of walks in a season. I mean, I don't know if that's
good for him. How many games? That's not going to win his team any games. I mean, I can't knock what he's doing, because, the idea is to swing at pitchers that are in the strike zone. And expanding the zone can lead to bad habits. But at the same time, it makes the strategy pretty easy for the opposing pitcher. Don't let Soto beat you. Make somebody else in that lineup beat you.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and if Nelson Cruz isn't going to, heat up here, there really isn't anybody else in that lineup that's...
He's 100 years old. This had to happen at some point for Cruz.
Right.
Bell's an okay guy, but if he's your second best hitter, I don't want to make it sound like I'm knocking Josh Bell. He's a pretty good player, but he can't be your second best hitter. You got a problem if he's your second best hitter.
Well stated, Dave. We got Jimmy. A follow-up question to you, man, because you talked about kind of fading teams. What about this Cincinnati Reds like Dave just talked about, heading to Colorado for the first game. Is that a situation you would maybe look to fade the Reds? What, they've only won one game in their last 13 or 14, something of that nature. Would that qualify, Jimmy?
Oh yeah, no, that would absolutely qualify. Any team really that is not good, can't score, and has below average pitching. The key for me is catching them as they begin the losing streak. So if you can get them when they've lost 3-4 in a row, and then you just keep fading them, then you've rallied off. So far we've rallied off 3 wins in a row, fading the Nats. And then when they lose one, you can back off if you want.
Or you can.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Because if you're going to win 3 out of 4, you may as well keep doing it, right? I made a mistake. I was playing against the Reds every game, and finally got away from it. And sure enough, they've lost 2 in a row since. I do think they have a chance tonight because Senzatella's a stiff, and they might have an edge with Hunter Green on the mound tonight. But if you're going to do that, it would only be first 5 because the Reds bullpen is boy. The Reds are exactly what their owner said they would be. I mean, they basically came up before the season started, and I'm paraphrasing because they didn't use these exact words, but what he said was, "We suck and we don't care." That's really what he said, and that's accurate.
Kind of like what Dave said for years about the Pirates and how they just don't care, and he feels so bad for their fans because they don't care about losing.
The Pirates have PNC Park. They got cool uniform. Could you imagine if they were a playoff team? They'd be, I don't know. I feel like they'd have a lot of fan base behind them. They'd be a fun team to watch.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Pittsburgh has great fans.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pittsburgh's a tremendous sports town. They have no excuse. And there's no such thing as a small market in baseball. You can make a case that Oakland, because they've got a horribly substandard stadium, and Tampa, because the stadium is in St. Petersburg and it's nowhere near Tampa. It's difficult to get to, and it's also a shithole. They've got at least excuses. Well, Tampa's overcome those excuses. Pittsburgh doesn't have any excuses. I've never been to the ballpark, but it's rated by fans as one of the best places to watch a baseball game. Great stadium atmosphere. The fans there are terrific, and Penguins don't have any problems competing every year. The Steelers, they've been competitive for like 30 years. Or more. Pirates' only excuse is ownership that doesn't want to spend money and just wants to pocket the profits, and they're going to keep doing it. I'm actually shocked they extended Hayes and Reynolds. That's un-Pirates-like. I'm literally stunned when they gave Hayes a long extended contract. It's like, really? Pittsburgh actually signed somebody to stay there for a while? Wow.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's heading in the right direction, Dave. Hey, I got a question for you, Dave, before we get to best bets. Philadelphia, New York Mets, Nola, McGill. Did you want to throw out anything on this game? This looks like a good one tonight.
It's the game of the night. That's the game I'm going to watch. No, I think it's priced right. Mets about 120. I think it's the right price. But if you're looking for a game that's compelling, Nola, off a very good start. Maybe he's finding his way back to his norm. McGill's been tremendous so far. And these are 2 quality teams. The Mets are playing great ball, even though they gave one away against the Cardinals to end that series. That's the game I want to watch tonight, but I won't have any action on it.
Sure, the Mets getting a little buffer there in the NL East, with the Fish being the only other team, over 500 right now, but the Phillies going to try to reel them in, see how far they can get ahead, talking about the Mets. And Jimmy, keeping in mind we have best bets coming up, did you want to throw out any other games, any other thoughts here before we get to best bets?
I'm ready for best bets because it's actually on that Mets-Phillies game, so we can just roll right into that if you'd like.
Let's get after it, Jimmy. What are you thinking tonight? Metropolitans and Phillies, NL East battle.
Yeah, so after talking all this chalk, all show long, I figured I'd bring down the chalk a little bit. I am laying a small price here. But so Mets, yeah, like you guys touched on, playing great baseball out the gate, 14-6, 5-2 at home. Tyler McGill is absolutely at the top of my bet on pitchers list. I love what this guy's doing. 3-0, 2.35 ERA. He's already faced the Phillies this season. I believe I was on that game with the clients as well. I can't remember off the top of my head. But the Phillies are kind of starting to turn things around after a 4-game sweep of the Rockies, and they've now won 6 of 8. Aaron Nola is off a really good start. Didn't allow a run on just 1 hit his last time out. That being said, I just don't think that the Phillies are going to be able to hit McGill again here. The Mets bullpen is absolute trash, so I'm going to recommend a first 5 play on the New York Mets tonight.
I want to mention
Mets first 5.
McGill has incorporated, we'll call it the Greg Maddux toe tap, because Maddux used to have a little toe tap that he went through before each pitch, and DeGrom also does that. So I assume he picked it up from DeGrom and not Maddux. But that's something McGill added to his delivery. So if you watch him tonight, you'll see that little toe tap as a kind of timing mechanism, and it seems to be working for him.
I like it. I wonder if that's something that just maybe the top line pitchers he kind of just wants to copycat there, Dave. But hey man, throw it over to you. What are you liking for best bets tonight, Dave?
Oh, I'll go to the Yankees game. First 5 in the Yankees. I explained why earlier. I don't have any added reasoning. It looks like a blowout, so I'll go Yankees first 5 money line.
Guys, I'm on the Toronto Blue Jays, -115. Low buying price is -112, looking at the WagerTalk odds screen. So short favorites at home. I'm on the Toronto Blue Jays. Kikuchi on the hill, coming from the left side against the Astros. Astros negative run differential so far this season, plus the fact the Blue Jays 7-3 at home. They've won 2 of 3 against the Astros so far this season. On the road, that series was in Houston. They've won 7 games this season by 1 run, speaking to how their bullpen has been pretty good, talking about the Blue Jays. In Toronto, most home runs in MLB, and they have not lost a series yet. Kikuchi can be up and down. I'm betting tonight he is up against the lowest batting average in the American League, that being the Houston Astros. So that puts me on the Blue Jays -115 tonight is my best bet. We got Jimmy Adams, Mets, first 5, -115, and Dave Koken, Yankees, first 5, minus the $2 there. So guys, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate everybody in the chat box joining us. Brandon, Daryl, Buck, Mike Campbell, Paco Healy, Godfather, all of you guys, all the VIPs there, and feel free to reply below in the reply section on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Any questions, we'll answer them on next week's show. Let us know what you're betting this weekend. Hey, what you thought of the show, all is welcome. So for Dave, Jimmy, I am Drew. Best of luck with your bets out there. Have a fun, safe weekend. We'll be back on Monday. Come back and join us. Best of luck until then. Thanks for tuning in.
All we can say is wow. We ran an NBA playoff special in which the first 99 packages sold were discounted down to $149. And pardon the pun, they sold like hotcakes. Well, NHL fans, do not fret, as we are not only matching that offer, but we are actually making it better. Starting Monday, April 25th, the first 99 packages sold using the code PUCK149 will not only get the entire NHL playoffs for only $149, but they will also get the rest of the regular season for free. That means that you can get over 2 months of NHL through the Stanley Cup Finals for under $19 per week. That's paying less than one single play package regularly priced at $25. Do not get shut out, as coupon code PUCK149 is good at both WagerTalk and Sports Memo, and only will be available for the first 99 packages sold, but you may use this code to purchase more than one NHL playoff package.